your job.
Okay, I lived in Palm Desert, California, and I was a bartender at a place called Cecil's. It was a straight bar. It was. Now it isn't anymore, but it was at the time. Apparently they changed it, but so I had no idea. But anyways, so after work, my buddies and I were going to go down to Palm Springs on the Strip. It was like spring break, and it was crazy down there. This is like 86, 87, 88, and anyways, so. The police have the road blocked, and all of a sudden you had to take a right, and this guy went straight, and he sideswiped my truck. So I put my hand out the window, and I signaled him down. My truck was a Toyota, big wheels. It was lifted really high, and he was in a new Mustang. So anyways, this guy pulls up, and he gets out, and I go, listen, give me your insurance. You know, you just hit my truck. You hit the side of my truck, and he goes, sorry, I don't have insurance. And this guy was as high as a kite, driving his car and totally tweaking out. And so I go, listen. I go. He goes, where did I hit your truck? And I go, listen. I go, get out of your car, look. So anyways, I went to show him. I go, look, and I'm back behind my truck. And all of a sudden, I'm in between his bumper and my truck bumper. And all of a sudden, he takes his foot off the brake, and his car coasts into my bumper. But I'm between them. So all of a sudden I go, oh, crap. So I jump up in the air, and my legs get wedged between both bumpers. And as my legs are wedged between both bumpers, I can hear my shin crunching, like this crunching noise. And I'm like, back up, back up. So he backed up, and I fell down, and my legs were kind of numb. And I was like, man, you better have insurance. So he didn't have insurance. So I go, listen, you're going to have to pay me some money. I go, you just hit my truck, and you just sandwiched my legs and crunched my shin bones. So my buddy went to jump in my truck, and I jumped in his car. He goes, well, let's take care of it down here then. So because we were right there, and I think he was afraid that the police were going to come. So so we started pulling down the street. I jumped in his car, and my buddy jumped in my truck, and my clutch had to go to the floor, all the way to the floor for the truck to start, and he couldn't figure that out. Next thing you know, we're going 100 miles an hour down the back streets as fast as he can. He goes, listen. He goes, I know what you guys are going to do. You're going to try to kick my ass. And I said, listen, you hit my truck. You sandwiched my legs. I can barely feel my legs right now. I said, you gotta make up for it somehow. So he reaches down between his legs under his seat and pulls a gun out. And as soon as he pulls a gun out, I go, oh, crap, a gun. So I catch it, and I pin the gun to his leg, and I shove it into his crotch, and his finger's on the trigger. And I was gonna pull the trigger because, you know, he pulled a gun. I thought he was gonna shoot me. And I'm sitting there, and all I could think of is going to jail. I mean, I was, 21, 22 years old, 170-pound, blonde-haired, blue-eyed gymnast in jail. With Bubba as my roommate, and that's all I could figure. And I was like, pull over right now. So he pulled over. I grabbed his gun. I popped the clip out. I whipped the gun one way. I whipped the clip the other way. And I said, you got to give me some money. So he pulled out $300, and I go, I'll take it. And I just grabbed his money. I go, that's it. My buddy finally comes up. He's like, what's going on? And he goes, you okay? And my pupils were like this big because I was so scared that I was going to get shot, and I also had a vision of getting ass raped by Bubba in my jail cell.